Today we're visiting with Gary and Catherine, the morning show team from K-Light 101.7 FM. Let's go inside and say hello.
Well, I know people have been flying, but being able to travel.
Absolutely.
You know.
It's Gary and Catherine, thank you. We heard our dedication just recently, so if there's something you want to hear, we're always here for you. 805-879-5483 and more music in just a second.
All right, we're talking to Catherine of Gary and Catherine in the Morning, K-Light 101.7 FM. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Scott?
Awesome, awesome. So tell us about some of the favorite places you like to go to in Santa Barbara.
Oh, my goodness. So I'm a big walker.
Okay.
I think you might know that.
Yes, yes.
Particularly on weekends, I like to spend half the day walking. So
Wow.
I start at my house. I generally go by the Mission. That's one of my favorite views when you see the ocean and the Mission is there.
Super scenic.
And then go down State Street. I always like to take in State Street, no matter what state it's in. And then along the water, I usually make a decision then to go left or right. Sometimes if I take a long walk, it'll be all the way past the bird refuge, and sometimes to the Miramar Hotel and back. So
Beautiful.
That's one of my favorite things to do.
And when you have friends and family come to town, where do you suggest they go or visit?
Well, maybe you do this too, but I like to kind of be a tourist in my own town sometimes.
Yeah.
So I haven't done it in a while, but there was a time that every other month or so, I'd go out with some friends and we'd rent those four-wheel bikes.
Sure.
Things. But I do go kayaking on a regular basis.
Okay.
I usually go out to the Santa Barbara Sailing Center. I think that's a lot of fun. And then hiking.
Oh, sure. The mountains are beautiful. Yeah. My sister just came to town from Geneva, Switzerland. So we did exactly that. We put the top down in the convertible, pile them in the back, and then I play tour guide. And it's so fun in our town.
Yeah.
You know, the weather's always 75 degrees, so it's always beautiful. And I just took her all around. Her son's going to go to Santa Barbara High School. So for the first time ever in 22 years of living here, I drove by the high school.
Oh my! I'm a Don.
Are you?
Yes.
Is that where you went to high school?
Graduated there in 1981.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about radio for a little bit. So what have you found why do most people listen to you guys? What's the magic between Gary and Catherine?
Well, I think people like to hear friendly voices.
Yeah.
They know Gary and I are friends and treat each other with respect. But beyond that, I think people listen to be connected to their community.
Sure.
I mean, if we're playing 8 songs an hour, people could get those songs anywhere. They can get their weather or their traffic anywhere, really, in a touch now. But I think they want it all in one place, and they want to feel connected to their community. They want to know what's going on, and they want to know that they've got friendly and reliable and honest voices.
Sure. Awesome.
I think we offer that.
Yeah. When people call in, you usually record the calls, right?
Yes.
And you use what I call the magic box to record them and then to play it back during the show. Tell us a little bit about the shortcut.
Well, it's just a digital editor. It's really simple. It's basically, it looks like it has 2 tracks, but it essentially has 1. And you can record and then play back. We edit very quickly, as you can see.
Yeah.
There are some times that we go live, but we find using this is just, it takes out a lot of, just the ums and the pauses and some other awkward things, and just makes the show flow better.
Yeah.
So it's our little secret weapon.
Yeah, no, Catherine is a master of this, and she recorded my dad and I talking when I first started with the radio station, and it's amazing how fast she is. She's able to kind of record it, clean it all up, put it on the air. It makes the show really flow well.
What do you exercise? What do you do? What's your routine?
I'm actually training for a marathon right now.
No way! Wow.
Oh.
Now, for what? For what purpose?
For my 27th birthday.
You're going to do 26.2 miles for your 27th birthday.
Wow.
That's amazing. Have you ever done a marathon before?
No, I've done 2 half marathons, but never a full marathon.
Hold on for 1 second,
I
okay?
love that. Hold on.
All right, now we're talking with Gary from Gary and Catherine, K-Light 101.7 Morning Team. How's it going, Gary?
Good, Scott. Thanks for dropping by. You just happen to be in the neighborhood,
Yeah,
right?
right down the street.
Good.
So,
good to see you.
Good to see you, too. How many years have you lived in Santa Barbara?
You know, it's hard to believe I've lived here for 40 years. This past summer was 40 years. And there was a small group of people that came out from a real small town in Connecticut. And I don't know how they ended up in Santa Barbara, but they did.
And what's some of the favorite places that you like to go to in Santa Barbara?
You know, like Kath, as far as, I like to, I used to run every day, but I like to get out there and walk every day. And I actually live in Goleta, and I'm lucky enough to live right by the Goleta bike path, which goes to Goleta Beach. And it's absolutely beautiful out there.
Yeah. So when guests come to town, where do you tell them to go? Do you drive them around? What's some of the favorite tourist attractions you like to take guests to?
You know, every time that I had visitors from Connecticut, the two of the first places I would always go was drive through Hope Ranch, where all those beautiful palm trees are, and then just up on Shoreline Park, which is just on the mesa. And still, after all these years, I take it for granted. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
We're so lucky to live here.
So switching gears to Radioland, I'm sure you've interviewed lots and lots of celebrities, stars throughout the years. Any memorable interviews that you want to share with us about people, maybe celebrities that live in Santa Barbara that you're able to talk to?
You know, I was just thinking about that the other day. When I was a kid, never in a million years would I ever think that we would have a chance to talk to the people that we've spoken with. I mean, there's people like Kenny Loggins, Michael McDonald, Peter Noon, and so many other people. It's been one of the most fun things that, and for the most part, everyone has been very nice. And we had, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, the pleasure of speaking with Carol Burnett. Now, I mean, she's an all-time
amazing
legend.
Oh yeah.
She could not have been any nicer. It was, I'll never forget it.
I got to meet Carol Burnett, I guess about 2 years ago in Montecito at the Burnham Wood Golf Course. And I was doing an event there, and I begged her to do the little ear thing.
Yeah.
Which every night when I was a kid, you know, she'd do the little ear thing to send out a little message. And it was just, she's gracious, she's amazing, down-to-earth grandma.
Exactly. Now, do you know the story behind that ear thing?
No, what is it?
Yeah. Catherine. It's to her...
It was her grandmother. Her grandmother raised her, and so that was her hello.
Oh, okay. So grandma was watching the show, and she'd send a little shout out to grandma.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So during your radio show, you are a master of the board.
Wow.
Tell us a little bit about like what goes on here during the production of a show.
You know, if you listen on the air, you probably don't realize there actually is quite a few things that's going on.
You
know, behind the scenes, and I try to use the machine that Catherine showed you earlier. I've got a couple of the same kind of digital machines over here. They're a little dated, but I've got a lot of sound. I like to throw in like sound effects and background music, and that's the fun part, which behind the scenes people don't see.
No, I mean that's why we wanted to bring the cameras in to show people the amazing board, the different computers you guys use.
It's amazing how the whole thing has changed. Like 30 years ago, I mean, we would actually physically be playing 45s, and all the commercials would be on cards. You'd come in at the beginning of each shift, and you would get your hour. You'd stack your songs right over there, and then stack your commercials and manually play each one. As you can see now, everything's on the computer, so it's come a long way.
So it's fully digitized.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you're basically bringing the levels up, the levels down, playing people on, playing people off.
Yeah.
How would you describe your morning show compared to all the morning shows out there? What makes Gary and Catherine's show so unique and different?
You know, I think, like Kath mentioned earlier, we're friends.
Yeah.
You know, and when we first started together years ago, I think they were planning on adding some other people, but it didn't take long to realize there was a chemistry there, you know. And I think we just try to be real.
Yeah.
You know? We're real. And I think we've succeeded for 28 years.
That's awesome.
For the most part.
Thanks for having us
Thanks for
in the studios today.
Yeah.
And once again, folks.
It's nice to have you with us, too.
Oh, thanks.
You're a great addition.
I appreciate that. I'm on every day here from 2 to 6, K-Light 101.7. Where else have you gone to Santa Barbara that you feel is a really unique or special place that nowhere else in the world can you experience like this particular spot in Santa Barbara?
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know if that might be a lofty one for this, but I recently helped to organize an event at Ealing's Park, and I really feel like Ealing's Park is like this hidden gem.
Yeah.
There are so many great hiking trails that people don't know about there.
Sure.
And they're getting ready to expand now with new bike lanes all along that area. So I would highly recommend people just take some time and go up to Godric Grove and then down, and the beautiful views from Ealing's Park. But that's one.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Ealing's Park, because folks, we're going to go to Ealing's Park right now and check out and see what's going on at Ealing's Park. So let's head on over. All right, we're at Ealing's Park in Santa Barbara, California. It says goats and sheep, and we even have llamas. And the llamas, they're new here to Ealing's Park. Beautiful view. Take a look at the mountains, Santa Barbara. Yeah, Santa Barbara, where the mountains meet the Pacific Ocean. And you can see right here that sbgoats.com, right there, sbgoats.com. That's the goats here. They eat all the brush to make sure that there's no fires up here. You see the goats. What do you think so far, Skylar? Pretty cool? Skylar's with me today. Just a beautiful day. And here's the llamas. Let's take a look at the llamas. Now here's the llamas. Yeah, and look how big these llamas are. Beautiful llamas, huh, Skylar? Beautiful llamas. Now, I don't remember the llamas in recent years. It looks like they brought in a few llamas this year just to make sure that all the brush, that's always the scary part, fire season. So this way they bring in the goats, the llamas. Hey, goat! And there's Skylar, he's talking to the goats. Skylar loves these guys. Skylar speaks goat. Skylar, speak goat to me. Skylar's been working on his goat. Here we are at the Tom Fruin Camouflage House. This was built in 2019, and take a look at the amazing view here at Ealing's Park. So much going on today. And now this house sculpture can be seen as a place of refuge and a stand-in for our hope moving forward. Its shape is a generalization of a home, while its dramatic coloration is the opposite of camouflage. Just beautiful. It is an act of standing out with warmth and brilliance, and that's according to Tom Fruin. He's the artist and UCSB alumnus. Now, this is built from salvaged signage, reclaimed acrylic scraps, and welded steel, and the vibrant beacon expresses dynamic contrast through both its material composition and juxtaposed site. The sculpture's multicolored pieces coalesce into a single house that illuminates the skyline each evening. Climb every mountain! We're watching paragliding right here in Santa Barbara, Ealing's Park. It's just a beautiful day to go up and away and take in that view of the Pacific Ocean. Here they go. Whoa. Check it out. There they go. When the sun goes down, it's time for Mesa Music Nights at Ealing's Park.
The truth is out there, your time on earth is done. You better listen up or you better start to run. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Devil's mind you stole. The rumor has it they're closing in on you. Please, Mr. Jackson, what are you gonna do? 'Cause I know what you have done.
Here we are at Fast Track Bicycles on Canon Perdido Street in Santa Barbara, and right now we're going to talk with Dave Lettieri. He's a one-time Olympian and 8-time national champion. Let's go inside and say hello. Thanks for having us out.
How you doing, Scott?
Pretty good, pretty good. Visiting Santa Barbara, stoked to be here.
All right, it's a great place.
Yeah. So you've been riding your entire life.
Been riding since 1977, for almost 45 years now.
Wow. How did you come up with the idea of even having a bike shop in the first place?
When we were kids, we always used to do a little basement business, and I was traveling with bike races over the years, and it was a way to make a little money selling things out of the van.
Okay.
And then I managed a professional cycling team for 5 years in the 90s.
What team was that?
That was Chevrolet.
So tell us about all the great places to ride in Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara has really unlimited 1 to 3 hour rides. You can make up loops. You can start with starting really in town or down by we call it the Dolphin Fountain at Stearns Wharf. A lot of times we have group rides meet there. And we can go really any direction. We can go out towards Hope Ranch, do loops around there, come back through Foothill and over to Mountain Drive, go through Montecito on Mountain Drive all the way down to Carpinteria and come back along the coast. There's flat rides all the way to Ventura and back, or rides, I guess it's north or really west to Goleta.
Okay.
And really the most fun ride is going up Gibraltar Mountain, which it is almost 9 miles of climbing from town And there's very few places in the world where you can have that big of a mountain really in your town. And the views on the top there on Camino Cielo are
epic.
Epic, world-class views on both sides of the mountain. When you get up there on Camino Cielo, it's phenomenal.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your accolades and some of the memorabilia you have here on the wall. So I see you have the U.S. Junior World Team photo from 1981.
Right, we have some photos when we were racing, I guess it's almost 40 years ago now. It's just crazy to think about. These are some national championship jerseys. I won. The Stars and Stripes signifies your national champion, and you get that when you win, you get to wear that in the same event for the year. So when you're racing, the people who are wearing that, are national champions. This is a state champion jersey I won while I was here at the shop. I decided to go try a little track racing that I hadn't done in years, and I won. And then there's a Pan American Games gold medal from 1987 and some other photos from the races.
And you also went on tour with Lance Armstrong as a mechanic, correct?
In the year 2000, Lance and a lot of the other pro teams would come to Santa Barbara because it's such a great place to train over the years. They'd set up training camps up in Solvang. They'd bring the whole pro team here. So me and Lance became friends, and before the 2000 tour, he asked if I'd like to come to the tour and be his personal mechanic.
Wow.
And it worked out great. He won. I only dealt with the bikes. Nothing else. And we've stayed friends over the years, and it was a great experience that not too many people get to do, to be on the inside of a Tour de France winning team in person.
What's some of the biggest bike fixes you had to do when you're out on a tour like that?
Well, it's tons of maintenance.
Okay.
Each night you be sure the bike is perfectly clean, then you go through all the bolts, all the parts, be sure they're absolutely perfect. He had new tires every day.
Wow.
New tires.
Wow. Okay.
And fortunately, throughout the 21-day event, no mechanicals, no problems, no issues.
That's amazing.
Good for me.
Yeah. So as you know, I've ridden with you many times here in Santa Barbara. You always get a blowout. Everybody gets a blowout, gets a flat.
Right.
It totally slows you down. You're like, now I'm off the back, right? So would you be able to kind of show us what that entails?
Absolutely, because there's no reason. So many people come in the shop with a flat tire. It ruined their ride. They had to get picked up. They had an Uber. And there's no reason for that.
Sure.
Because they usually have the equipment. We'll show you how to do it, and it takes 3 to 5 minutes to change a flat tire if it all goes well.
Awesome. All right, so why don't we head over and check out how to change a tire. Let's go.
First thing, you realize the tire's flat. You have your tire lever. You wedge the tire lever under the bead of the tire, and you roll it all the way around.
Got it.
Right, this is your air supply. You're going to check. Good idea to check to be sure you can't see the tube showing at any point. It's all tucked in underneath the rim. And then you put your CO2 inflator on it. You turn your CO2 cartridge in the inflator. You back it off, and it fills up your tire.
Oh, I see. Wow, it's automatic.
Automatic. And you turn your CO2 off, pull it down, spin the tire to be sure it's all in the center and nothing's bumping up and down.
And there you go.
Ready to go.
All right, in 2 minutes.
Simple.
What kind of bike do we have today?
So really when people come in, they have to decide what kind of bike they want, what kind of riding they're going to do.
So like if I was going to ride up at Ealing's Park, would this be a good bike
This would
for
be a
me?
great bike. This is an entry-level Trek mountain bike.
Okay.
It's designed for good dirt trails.
Okay.
If you really wanted to come down the front country trails from the top of the mountain here from Camino Cielo down, it's very steep, very rocky. This probably wouldn't be an appropriate bike, but this is a great entry-level mountain bike.
Next up, we have a gravel bike. Wow, that's pretty cool there, Dave.
All right, this is pretty much a road bike with knobby tires that will allow you to go on fire roads, on dirt roads, with the speed and efficiency of a road bike.
All right, now it's time for something really high-end and super fancy. What do we have now, Dave?
This is Trek's Madone. It's their highest-end aerodynamic road bike. As you can see now, it's very sleek, very aerodynamic. All the cables, there's no cables showing for the gear or brakes. They're all tucked in the handlebars and inside the frame. So these are the highest-end bikes like they ride in the Tour de France.
And now we have the biggest growing trend in bicycles. This is called an e-bike. Dave, tell us all about this.
All right, so e-bikes are pedal assist bikes. They're equipped with a battery enclosed, in this case enclosed in the frame, and a crank motor system.
Okay.
So these are pedal assist, so you have to pedal them. People come in and say, hey, I'd still like to get some exercise, but I need some help on the hills.
Sure. All right, Dave, here we are in the helmet department. I got my helmet on. What kind of helmet am I wearing?
You're wearing a basic commuter helmet, you can call that, with the visor, keeps the sun out of your face.
Okay.
And the one you're wearing comes down a little further in the back.
All right.
There's all kinds of helmets though. So helmets all have a certain safety standard to be sold.
Okay.
And then they have other features above that. This particular one has a lot of air vents and also has a cylinder feature where it's a double shelled. So this is the highest technology in bike helmets. Other ones have double protection. They call it a crumple zone. This is called this particular one a Trek Wave Cell helmet. It provides another layer of protection that crumbles in all directions.
Oh, I see. So if you fall off the bike, you hit the dirt, all of a sudden that will crumple in and protect your skull?
And protects your skull, right. The idea is that the helmet is supposed to break, not your head.
Got it. Okay.
So, but this is great insurance for your head. Helmets are very accepted over the last many years. When I started cycling, nobody wore helmets. In the racing, they didn't wear helmets.
Okay.
Now they've made them so much better. They're very safe, and it can save you from a concussion.
And there you have it, folks. Fast Track Bicycle, Santa Barbara, California. Make sure you come on over and see Dave. And you're watching Visiting Santa Barbara with Scott Topper.
Sun, it feels so good shining down on me. Everybody's smiling. This is the place to be. Beach balls and boogie boards got my feet in the sand. Sipping pina coladas and working on my tan. Let's take a walk on the beach. Take a walk on the beach. Let's take a walk on the beach. Take a walk on the beach. Let's take a walk on the beach. Take a walk on the beach. Just you and me.
So you turn the CO2 cartridge into the inflator, you back it off to release. Whoa. Well, that one broke.